Hi, friends. How are you today? So good to see you. Oh my gosh, do we have a treat today? Today, we're going to talk to Jose Chapa of the Chapa Law Firm. Did I get it right? All
Yes, correct. That's
right,
it.
we're off to a great start, so we don't have to start over. I am so excited for you to hear from Jose. He has a very interesting line of work. And so tell us what you do.
So I'm a personal injury attorney, like you mentioned with the Chapa Law Firm. Um, Everyone kind of thinks of personal injury as car wrecks, slip and falls, and that is true. That those are the most common, I guess, type of claims that people have, but there's also different type of negligence claims. I have a couple Astroworld festival victims as well, so that's not your typical one, but I do hear about dog bites, daycare negligence. I do have a product defect case. So I do handle your typical car wrecks and slip and falls, but any type of personal injury claim, any type of injury that's not your fault, I can help.
So I'm so glad you elaborated on that because everybody watches a lot of TV, so there's a
Right.
perception there, but it's good to go a little deeper and understand that anytime you're hurt or there's been negligence, that's where you step in.
Right,
And
correct.
why is it so important to call an attorney?
Well, first off, there's a lot of things that the common consumer just does not know. But for instance, with personal injury claims, I like to, and unfortunately, this is what happens. Sometimes you're kind of at a low point in your life when you're injured. You don't really know what to do. There's a lot of unknowns. You may be vulnerable. It's best where you don't have to worry about your legal side and just worry about getting better. And so that's where an attorney can come in and not only handle that legal side of your claim and handle all communications with the insurance who's going to be hounding you, so that saves you the headache there. But there's a big part of it where with personal injury attorneys, they have a network of medical providers.
Oh,
And so with these medical providers, they are used to working with attorneys. They know that their clients or their patients are in lawsuits or in some sort of legal claim. So what they'll say is, okay, well, attorney, I know you. Um, Let me help out your clients by I'll give them my medical services. I'll charge them, but I'm not gonna have them pay a fee every time I go to a chiro and go to a PT appointment. I'm gonna charge them, but we're gonna wait to show them the bill or to ask for compensation until the case is over, until there's a settlement, until there's a judgment, whatever. And so this is where it becomes fruitful because if you're the client or the patient, you don't have to pay $100 each and every time that you go to an appointment. And not to mention with the attorneys, most of the time the attorneys are able to negotiate that price down at the very end. And so at the end of the day, that's just going to save you money. That's going to save the client more money in their pockets.
so this is fascinating because we've been on the same networking circuit, but we've really just never had a real intense one-to-one. I think it's fascinating because that makes total sense. If you're injured, the last thing you're thinking about is you're just worried about getting well and the shock of being injured. And just so, having them on your side, having you on their side is so important because you're the objective thinker here and you've been through this before and you know the steps to take and you can really just help guide somebody who's at a loss, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm big on educating my clients with the process. I try to handle my representation a little bit different. I go by the slogan of the law macaw, so I actually have a macaw as a parrot, and so he is on the endangered species list actually, but got him from a breeder in California, and that was a story in itself. But um, So he's not your typical parrot. He's a little bit different, rare, unique. Well, I try to be the Loma call of the legal industry. So I try to be a little bit rare, unique in a sense that I provide a more of a personalized touch to my representation. So my office is on Main Street. You don't have to drive all the way down to Main Street to see me. We can meet at a coffee shop. Not to mention, you call my law firm, I'm the one that answers. And I even tell my clients to text me because I may be in a meeting. I can't pick up the phone, but I can answer a quick yes or no or whatever. So I value communication, and I'm bilingual as well. So half of my clientele are Hispanic, but I really value just educating and telling them, hey, just don't worry about this. I know that's hard. It's hard to say that, and it's probably not going to happen. You're going to worry about it, but focus on getting yourself better, and I'll handle everything else, the legal side of it.
That's a huge peace of mind. Huge peace of mind. So what got you into this side of this kind of the law practice?
Well, um, I don't really
I
know
didn't
what
mean to
what.
stump you. Sorry.
No. I really don't know what got me into the personal injury side. I did intern at a personal injury law firm, but I didn't really do too much on the automobile side. I did some premises liability and some other stuff, other sectors of the personal injury side. But um, I just really like helping people, and I think that's just the easiest way to do it, and one of the most gratifying ways, because the your clients come in and they're not well, they're not themselves, so you kind of help them get back literally onto their feet, and that process is very gratifying for me. But it's funny you asked that, and the reason why I was kind of stumped a little bit was I kind of have an interesting story of why I became an attorney. Um I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised here. So I went to Strake Jesuit College Preparatory for high school in Bel Air. And we had a student field trip to the municipal courthouse in Harris County. And I sat in on a bunch of cases. And long story short, one of the cases that I sat in was, I believe, it was an immigration case. And so there was a judge who was a Caucasian judge and knew no Spanish at all. And of course, um, the immigrant, or the defendant, um, was not from here and didn't know any English. And so the judge was trying to speak to him in Spanish, but very condescendingly. And it wasn't very nice, and he could have done it a lot. It was very intentional. He was trying to do something, it was very intentional. So me being bilingual at that time as well, it rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't really like it. And so from right then and there, I said, you know what, I want to help the public and help the people in the legal system. Now, did I know that it was going to take this route and I'm a personal injury attorney? Probably not, but that was the reason why I became an attorney. Was that was the first time that I felt, okay, I think I would like doing this, and I would like helping people and making sure that if they're put in that position, they're not, the judge isn't going to do that. That really rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, you're protecting them, so that sounds
Right,
yeah.
right. And I don't remember if I saw an attorney there. I don't remember if he even had one, but just looking back, I'm like, man, someone should have said something. Just you know, that human nature and that most people have, right? We
Yeah.
hope everyone does, but
That's amazing how one tiny instant in our lives can make such a huge difference. Aren't you glad you were there that day?
right. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember calling my dad and I said, hey, I want to be an attorney. And I'm pretty sure he was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. We'll see
Well, you
what
showed your
happens.
dad.
We'll see what happens. But Yeah, it's very very fulfilling. So
Oh, good, good. So let me go back to tactical stuff. So if
yeah,
a person's injured, when is the best time to call you?
immediately.
I knew
Immediately.
the answer, but I wanted you to say it.
Yeah, immediately. The more time that well, okay, a couple of things. The more time that you wait, uh the more time you wait, the more opportunity you give the opposing insurance, assuming that you're not at fault and everything like that. It You give them the opportunity to create a storyline or a plot and say, oh well, you must have not been that injured. You waited 3 weeks after the incident to get medical treatment. That's the big thing. But most of the time you don't get medical treatment without an attorney. So at least it's probably 30% or so. But um yeah, you got to go immediately. And one thing unfortunately that happens, and I'm wrapped into it because I am a personal injury attorney, but a lot of attorneys will start calling you and they're not supposed to.
Oh,
Um, and so depending on the case and depending on what happened, they may start calling you. They're not supposed to, but that's just what they do.
that's
I'm
good to
not
know. I had no
I'm
idea. So that's
not
very
a fan of it.
educational. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I don't agree with it at all. And it makes, portrays me as one of them just because um I have the label of as a personal injury attorney. But I like to try to show people like, hey, there are good people in this world. There are good doctors, there are good attorneys, there are good CPAs, whatever. There are also bad ones. That's just how it is. But I personally try and strive to show, hey, that I'm gonna do the best that I can, and to keep you informed, and so that's the more the quicker you get an attorney, the less that you may get hounded and I don't even know how to find the information. So
No. So I'm glad to know that. That's very educational. So good to know, good consumer tip. If you're injured, call Jose right away. I've known him for years. He's a lovely man and he's tough. Don't let the nice fool you. He will protect you well. So what is the best way to reach you? Is there a phone number, email, or a combination of both?
sure, you can reach me on the phone. You can call me, text me 713-818-4049. I'm the one that's going to be answering, so you'll immediately contact an attorney. Most other firms you'll probably contact a secretary, an assistant, someone else. That's one way I try to be different. Or you can email me at jose@thechapalawfirm.com, JOSE at THECHAPALAWFIRM.com. That's a mouthful.
Text him.
Yeah, just text me. Just text me.
That'll
That
be
way.
quicker. Well,
That's
say thank you so much for being here today. This
no
has been
problem.
educational, and I promise you're in good hands, and you will really enjoy working with him. He really will protect you and have your best interests at heart. So,
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity as well.
yeah, thank you so much. All right, friends, am I not living the best life or what? Thank you for being here, and we will see everybody soon. Bye, Jose. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.